tell them if you don't watch it, go shuck yourself.
Go shuck yourself. Get shucked.
Get shucked, man.
To the What the Shuck podcast. We have an absolutely wild crowd here at Stagger Inn tonight, and just want to give a shout out to them for letting us do this, and shout out to Shelby Lore Band for coming on to the What the Shuck podcast. Jim Cundiff set that up and is a guy that I've worked with a lot and done some stuff through his photography. He's helped a lot with the nonprofit, so he was like, dude, you gotta start listening to this band, they're incredible. And over the last month that I've been listening to you all, I really appreciate what y'all are doing, and so just really excited about this. But without further ado, just a little bit about the mission of the What the Shuck podcast is essentially we're trying to provide a platform to positive and influential people from Kentucky and Appalachia in the hopes of inspiring people that are maybe a future musician or a business owner or somebody that's trying to flip the narrative that Kentucky and Appalachia is a problem and make that narrative be seen as, hey, actually Kentucky and that region is really innovative and is really about not being stuck in the past. They're trying to move forward, but use their very rich culture through business, art, music, and essentially all those things that make this area so unique. So without further ado, this episode is going to be, like I said, live at Stagger Inn, and it's going to be featuring Shelby Lore, so let them play some music.
What's going on? Thank you so much for having us. My name is Shelby Lore. Luke.
I'm Tyler.
This song is called Lead Me Around. It's off our new album called The Great Unknown. Working like a charm, but at least twice a only told, and I need you to be around. This next song is called Blankly Staring, also off of our new album. I want to say thanks to Jim Cundiff, too, for throwing us your way to the What the Shuck podcast. Arguably one of the coolest names in podcasts is the What the Shuck podcast. So thank you for having us on the podcast as
Thank
well.
you, Jim, for the shout out.
This tune's called Blankly Staring. This way in me should make me stronger, yet I walk around dragging my feet. Such a beautiful day, not a cloud up in the sky, as I wish Blankly Staring off the new album. You ever get to boogieing so hard you almost fall off your bar stool completely sober?
I can't say that I've done that sober, but definitely have done that drunk.
Same.
So where's everybody in the band from?
Ty and I are from Carter County. Luke is from, you're from Sandy, though.
Oh, Elliott County.
Elliott County. We'll say the mayor loud and proud.
Elliott County.
Sandy Hook, you are it. No, so we're all from a similar area essentially. I'm from West Liberty, so we actually played each other in sports growing up, so definitely am familiar with where y'all are from. Leah Blevins is from Sandy Hook and Lacey Blevins, and those are two of my close friends, so that is a talent
I
rich.
think about them often.
Yeah, I would say so. They're so Lacey's working on some stuff. Leah's album that she just dropped, I always will be like, that's when people are like, what would you say her music is like? And I'm like, it's Dolly Parton and the Black Keys had Appalachian Love Child, and that was her album.
The best ever, basically.
Essentially, yes.
It's great stuff.
Yeah. So you all just had an album come out this past year,
July 10th.
July 10th, and so you were actually telling me that you have a recording studio.
Yeah.
So having a recording studio as an artist has to be pretty advantageous. So are you just like, are you like the mad scientist when you're editing your albums, or like you
Yeah,
just?
So whenever I had to get it out of my studio, or it will never leave. I had to. So a guy named Noah Frazee, he lives in Texas now, right? And he edited and produced pretty much. I mean, everything outside. We write the songs, put everything like with the songs together. But he had to mix and edit, or else I would have never released anything. It's just so hard to do that. When you have it and it's in your possession, you just don't want to let it go because it's never finished. I need somebody to tell me, like, hey.
And I'm that guy
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah.
Like Shelby, leave it be, man. It's great.
So Tyler, you were playing a little bit before things opened up, but I mean, you are obviously a pretty talented musician as well. Luke, I've seen you do a lot of drumming stuff, so it seems like you're all over the place drumming for people, and it's just like, obviously, being from that region, we're pretty musically talented. So how long have you all been playing, like, respectively as individuals?
I've been playing my whole life. I guess that I've been playing guitar like, my whole life. Ty, I guess you too.
Yeah, we started getting serious around like 10. I'd say on guitar.
Yeah. And then Luke, when did you start?
I started at 12. I think I was about 12. 6th grade. Yeah. So maybe 8 years now or something. 8, 9. I don't know.
Like playing bars and stuff. I've been playing bars for like 10 years. Like just in and out of cover bands, but like this being the main focus has been a thing since 2020. Like for this trio.
Maybe 2019.
Yeah, late 2019. I guess late 2019. And this has just been the focus.
Yeah.
So if you all have been since late 2019, y'all are pretty much a COVID band. So a lot of bands aren't lucky enough to have all their people kind of in like the same area. So are you all like living in, like you said you're living in Asheville when we talked, but where are you all actually living
I
at?
just moved from Flatwoods to Morehead.
Okay, and where are you living
I'm
at?
still in Elliott County. But
Okay.
I'm in Morehead a lot.
Okay, so where do you all typically meet up? Where you're practicing at, stuff like that?
We usually that's actually only my house. We only practice at my house. But we don't really rehearse that much. Like we'll get together. Like we're about to start recording a new album, and we'll get together every now and then. Like if there's a big show, we'll get together and run the show, put it together and everything. But most of the time, things come together like here at Stagger Inn, like at a show. That's mostly where the practice is. Is that on the gig? I guess.
I've seen that you all play at Stagger actually pretty frequently. I can't believe I haven't gotten the chance to watch you all, but like, where are some of your all's favorite places to play? Obviously, you're here today, but like, where are some of the places that you all have really played that just were like, oh my gosh, like we're doing this thing, we're playing music, or was it just like, hey, actually this place was just like a little dive bar, it's like my favorite place?
I have a few. You want to go first?
Start off with Stagger Inn. We're usually here. We try to book here once a month just to have fun and enjoy music, and which every show we enjoy music. This is just really fun. There's a ton of people that roll in here that want to hear music. And also in Lexington, CCI is like family. Chevy Chase Inn. If you haven't been there, go there. It's excellent. The oldest bar in Lexington.
Yeah.
That's as far as Lexington, and then there's other places too.
I mean, just the span. I love Stagger. I like Stagger for many reasons. One of the main reasons I like Stagger is because, like, there's not very many places that. Be careful with how I word this, I guess, but they let us do whatever we want, like musically, whatever we want, and everybody seems to be into it, and it's just a crowd that really appreciates live music. I like CCI because, like Ty said, they're like family, but I'm a real big fan of playing festivals and playing theaters. I love playing theaters. We're very new to that, but if we could just play theaters all the time, that would be cool. I love it. We played the Paramount last Monday. We got to open up for Brent Cobb there at the Paramount and Sunday Best. Shout out Sunday Best.
Shout out Sunday Best.
And I mean, I love that kind of setting a whole lot. In the festival setting, of course.
You touched on festivals, and my favorite festival that we've ever been to is this place in Warsaw, Kentucky, almost Indiana, Bones Tavern.
Oh yeah, Billy Bones Tavern.
Billy Bones Tavern. That's my favorite. That's the best ever. It feels good being there. Everybody there, yeah.
Shout out Billy and Clay. We love you guys.
And we will be there this year.
We'll be there this year. We're going to be at the Billy Bones Tavern this year.
Your lineup just got announced.
Yeah. I don't know when this episode is going to release, but if it releases before May,
It definitely will.
it definitely will. Check out that lineup. It's a fire lineup.
This will probably drop in about 3 weeks.
Oh, great.
So about a month. But so I'm definitely going with that. It's been like festival lineup drop season, so
Yeah.
there's a lot of cool stuff going on, and I had a bunch of friends go to that one last year, and they're like, I think the reason that one like that is so successful and so good is because, like, for the artist, it's like people that are there that want to come see musicians. It's like friends of musicians, it's family of musicians.
Yeah. You can tell that festival is built off of someone's just love of music. That isn't built off of profit. That is built off somebody's just pure love of music. They open their house, their backyard, and their area, their space for people to play music in. That's why that's so
on
great.
the festival flyer at the bottom. It says STFU and tip the band.
Yeah. And I think that's the culture that's set by that crowd, because, you know, when you go to the Burl, I see people on Facebook and stuff all the time be like, oh, like, people are talking the whole show, and it's like, listen, like, I get it, that sucks, but, like, to be fair, there are probably 20 to 50 of these people are really here to watch the band, and a lot of these people are here to, like, get drunk.
Yeah.
And when you actually have a whole group of people that are saying, hey, we're actually coming to watch, it's a little bit easier to say, shut the fuck up. Like,
It is,
you can, and that's the thing is, like, when you set that precedent, that's really important. Like I said, I see a lot of people complain about people talking at the Burl and stuff, or like at any venue, and it's just like, unfortunately, not everybody has the same agenda. I'm going there to scream and listen to Shelby Lore, but everybody else might not have that same intention.
The thing about that, I kind of like. I think that I like it when people are mingling. I like to.
We're a hoot and holler kind of bunch.
Yeah, I really enjoy it when people are just like screaming, and that's just what gets me there. I guess I like that.
We feed off that kind of energy.
And honestly, you can tell that when you all play. Like, you all kind of remind me of like a mix. I hope this isn't offensive. It's like a mix between like kind of like Leonard Skinner and like Three Doors Down.
That's fine.
That's pretty good.
Like, it's
I'm
it's
gonna
a
leave
real-
with the Shuck podcast because of that.
Heard it first.
You all, it's like your new album that you all just released last year. Literally, it just sounds like a really crispy but country version of like a Three Doors Down kind of inspired thing.
Yeah,
And-
that's great.
And yeah, and it's it's Shelby and I were talking yesterday, and it's really important that, like, obviously right now you are playing acoustic and on the cajon, but like when you all really play like a full band, it's a little bit more rocky and more edgy. And so I guess that's why you're like, hell yeah, hoot and holler, like we're a rock band, like we're getting down. And so you're, obviously this is going to be airing later, but you are playing 3 nights here, correct?
Yeah, we're playing tonight and through the weekend.
And tonight's acoustic, and then the next 2 nights you'll all be doing your full set, or?
Yeah, and we play here and only here. We play 4 hours and don't stop. We just play straight through, and that's the deal. We have a good time, and it's easy to do here because the crowd really enjoys it. They're into it.
We could pull some old tricks out of that too.
Yeah.
Some like middle school stuff.
The cool thing I was saying like about playing here is like you really get to pull out old songs like that. You really get to test yourself because it's not easy to play for 4 hours. Like Luke, you're a very active dude. And I look back and he's like, out of
He always
breath.
blows his low little soon. It's hard not to though. I mean,
Yeah, you got that many people wanting to hear music. You want to give it to them.
Yeah, and this is a area that has been pretty influential to the music scene in this state, especially in Eastern Kentucky, because they have been willing to give the chance and the stage to people from our region, and that means a lot. That means, we were talking about Sunday Best, Sunday Best is probably who they are because of this building.
Oh, yeah,
It was
for sure.
Redlands then, but
Absolutely.
like this venue gave, and I literally started my podcast. My cousins grew up with Nicholas and Christopher in Prestonsburg, so I've known them a lot of my life. And it's like I have a podcast because I was influenced by them. I was like, I had the guts to be like, hey, I really like music and like talking to people and follow your passion. And I've seen people do that and it seemed to work. And it's like, would you all say you all been influenced by them a lot? Because I mean, you were playing for.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, sure.
There we go.
Sounds like great.
Yeah.
Actually, we played a couple things. We played a couple weeks ago. We opened up for Chris at the venue in Moorhead, and we got to play his whole set with him, and that was really cool. But whenever I remember hearing the NJ album, and really wanted to step up my writing game. You know, I wonder. I mean, I'm influenced by a ton of artists, but like. I guess locally, like I'm very influenced by Nick's writing. He's such a great writer.
I've had Bad Imagination stuck in my head all week. That's a killer song.
And I just think the reason that he connects so well is when the podcast that we had with Nick, he and I talked. I mean, we could have gone for like 3 hours. I like came in the room and like, hey, we're like shutting this building down. It was at the Mac. They're like, you got to get out of here. And we went out and talked for like 50 more, like to an hour or something like that.
Yeah, man,
And I think the reason that he connects so well to so many different people, because I think Nick's 35, and so like, he connects to people that are in college or they're like a little bit younger even. And it's just because he does step up the writing, and he kind of just paints an Appalachian landscape.
Yeah.
And I think that's why he influences so many people in so many different ways. And same with Christopher, they just write what they see, and that's obviously been influential. You always said you've opened for them a few times, so.
yeah. The first time I got to meet him, I got to open up for him in Carter County, and they were so nice. They were the nicest people. They really. I got to think twice. I guess I could say like whenever they let us open for them at the Paramount, they just there was a bone really. They were like
we asked what's our time slot, and they were like, just do what you need to do.
yeah. Chris said, say what you need to say, man.
Yeah. So just go as long as you need to go.
We actually did a stand-up night for the nonprofit, and Christopher was the host of the
I heard
stand-up,
about that.
and he absolutely crushed it. He literally was funnier with the other people's jokes than like the people that were telling their jokes were, and I was just like, this is savage. Like he's like bringing up like all these like punchlines that these other people like missed on, or just like I'm just like, damn, this guy like is a.
He's so funny.
They're just entertainers, both of them. I saw them play. They did a little pop-up show at Barrel House in Richmond, and Nicholas's glasses were on crooked the entire show. And I looked at my friend and I was like he just didn't even care they were on crooked. And he said, "We'll never know what it means to be that cool. That's what that means." And it's just like, sometimes you're just on a different level, and you can wear your glasses crooked or whatever. But obviously, they've made an impact on you all. Who has been majorly influential to you all in music outside of Cindy Best and Chris and Nick?
Shelby. Shelby's a big influence on my music. I know that.
Thank you, man. Top. Yeah, I don't know. I have a lot of influences, man. I here lately, I have not been able to not listen to Jason Isbell. I listened to a lot of Brent Cobb. Listen to just writers. You know, I like to just chill and listen to songwriters. I was telling Ty on the way here. You know, a lot of people around here play an instrument. A lot of people around here like can play music. Almost everybody plays something. But like a songwriter, there's a lot of people that write songs too. But I mean, just a good song. I mean, nothing will get you to do like a good song. And that's what I kind of dig for, is looking for good songwriters. What have you been listening to, Ty? What we're talking?
I'll forever be on a Jason Isbell kick. Been listening to a lot of Nick stuff lately, really. Brent Cobb too. We went and watched him me and Luke went and watched him at the Burl. Was it last month? It was an epic show. He was touring that new gospel album, but he went back into a lot of his hits too. So.
You said they came out in the six.
Yeah, oh yeah. They like all rhinestoned up. Yeah.
What have you been listening to, Luke?
All of the above, everything mentioned and everything. Lately, I've been on a real big kick of the sons of the greats. So like Lucas Nelson, Justin Townes Earl, stuff like that. Also John R. Miller. I've been listening to that album. They're all good.
His grinder.
Yeah, I bought a grinder at Foxfire off of John R. Miller.
So he has merch that's a grinder.
Yeah.
No.
It's for
I'm just kidding.
it's for CBD, right? Yeah, of course. We're not 420 friendly on the What the Shuck podcast. But it's actually most people don't know. Yeah, it's Delta 8. Phil Barnett, y'all know him? Phil Barnett has a song called Delta 8.
Yeah, he's singing for us at the venue.
He's great, man. I love Phil.
He just didn't say nothing.
I've been dying to hear that song again since that moment.
Yeah.
I want to hear it like all the time.
Phil, if you want to cut that, I have a studio.
Yeah. Actually, man, there's something I want to talk to you about. So we do a Christmas project every year, and 2 years ago, everybody kind of like Frankenstein the project together. But essentially, what I like to do through the nonprofit is like put together like a classics of Christmas through the sound of Kentucky musicians. And we did that 2 years ago, and I think like 14 total artists were on it. And then we did the Christmas project last year, and it was a live concert at the Burl, or not at the Burl, but at Frankie's Plaza. And so I want to do that again, but I do want to do an album. And I think that that's how you can really raise some money, is because it's just, you know, some people don't want to go to a bar, they don't want to go to a honky tonk, they still want to listen to your music. And it's just by having an online way that's accessible, I think that would be way more advantageous, because we had a lot of success out of it. We've raised close to like $10,000, I think, over the last 2 years for just Christmases in Kentucky. And it was just literally through the platform of like craft beer and music. And it's like, that's something everybody can kind of get behind. Even if you don't drink, you at least like music. If you don't like music, well, you like to drink.
Yeah.
So
it goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about like Christmas music. We have a really good friend. His name's Garrett, who puts out Christmas stuff every year. And John McHugh. And I've been wanting to work on some Christmas stuff with them. I love Christmas music. It's like I don't care what anybody says. Like it's harder to play than anything. It's like the hardest music to play.
I bought my first audio interface to record a Christmas album when I was like 16. I was like, this is way too hard. You can't just plug in and go.
I think the dude's name's Roddy J or J Roddy. He's like friends with the people that run the Burl. But he did this Christmas rendition over Christmas at the Burl, and I was just like, I was blown away. And I already love Christmas music, and it's crazy because this is March and we're talking about Christmas, but these people just blew it out of the water. Like I was like, that was not only like awesome, it was one of the best performances I've ever seen. And I think it's just because it was all songs everybody loved, the whole crowd was getting into it, and it was captivating. And so it's definitely something I'd like to talk to you all about. Not on the camera again, but so we'll let you all play some more music, play a couple songs for us, and I'll be back on the
Here's
stage.
a Christmas song.
Shelby Lore Band.
off our new album. It's called Other Side. Let's do another one. We got something.
What's on your heart, Luke? Yeah, what's on your heart, Luke?
This song is gonna hopefully come out next year. This is the first song, like, the whole part, everything was written as a band. And really proud of it. This song's called The Cup. Is that what it's called? The Cup?
I don't know, man.
I think it's called The Cup.
We'll just leave it open, and if anybody got ideas, just
Don't drink from the cup. It makes you wanna fight. As a kid, you watched it take love and end it in a night. It's sewn in the cloth that you're torn from. You keep it by your bed, it keeps you out of your head, so you don't have to run. Let's say a crutch became your friend, made you forget things you said, till it took you by your hand and threw you off the edge. It's there to keep you up and haunt you through the day. Come on, it's just one sip until it hits your lips and takes you all the way. In your car, past the bar, headed straight for rock bottom, where you settle home before you do better tomorrow. Try again to tell yourself when the sun comes up. Don't drink from the cup. Have mercy on yourself. It's not the end of the road. Look what's in front of you, not what you've been through, so you won't have to go. In your car, past the bar, headed straight for rock bottom, where you settle home before you do better tomorrow. Try again to tell yourself when the sun comes up. Don't drink from the cup. Don't drink from the cup. Don't drink from the cup. The song's called The Cup.
Or Untitled.
Or Untitled. Or The Untitled Cup.
It could be Drink, Cup, whatever. It sounds
Soda,
good. That's all that
rock
matters.
It could be any individual lyric of that song.
True, that is true.
It could be the.
It's you all will be the first people to ever have a song called "The." I mean, it'd probably pop up immediately. How many songs have "The" in it?
That's a marketing.
Let's
You're
name a-
hired.
Let's name a song. Good.
What the shit?
You were talking about my name earlier, so I actually got my name. I was playing Xbox Live one day and killed someone on like Call of Duty, and this kid goes, "What the shuck?" And I was like,
That's it.
That's me forever. That's my name now."
Mine
I'm
is
not even-
Graceful Tater.
Graceful Tater. I went from Jagged Edge to What the Shuck really quick. So you were just saying that you all wrote that song together. So have you all written many songs together? Or is that just the first one you've like put together like to that extent, or?
That's one Tyler came up with the first verse, and I don't know what all he had came up, but he came up with some of it. And then he came over and we were talking about wanting to write a whole song together. We've never like really all sat down and put the pen to paper and like figured one out together, like wrote one together. But that one we did. We sat down and had it done in about 10 minutes. We all wrote on it, and it was a very, very cool feeling. That was the first one that we had all been like, let's put our heads together and come up with it, and we did.
I'm good with melodies, so I was like, I want that chorus just to go. And then Joe was like, oh yeah, and it was like this.
We got stuck on a phrase, and Luke was like, well, this is what it needs to be, and it just came together.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
So when you all get together, like, is there any like priming you're doing? Is there any like drinking you're doing? I know that you don't drink, Shelby. Or is there any like smoking left-handed cigarettes? Like, what gets you all to like the creative like point to say, hey, like, I'm ready to write a song, or I'm not in the mood to write a song? Like,
I think like I've never been good at writing under the influence ever. Nothing really that I feel like if anything great has ever came out of it. But I think that what inspires me is like just to write or to feel like writing, because I kind of have a spot in my house. You know, if I'm sitting there and I always got a guitar there, and I just kind of it's something I don't know. It's very weird like how it gets you to write a song, but I like to. There's a certain spot that I like to go to write if I feel like writing. And a lot of the times, I like to write around a melody. I have a melody in mind, and I'll like just go to my spot and I'll write a song.
Mine, I just pick up my guitar when I wake up. That's the freshest my mind is right when I wake up, I think. So it's just whatever I'm sleeping on, or maybe it's a dream that I had that I can still remember when I wake up. You know, that leaves you pretty quick usually. So I just kind of, many more days than not, that I just fiddle around with the guitar, but every now and again.
Also, like one time me and Ty were talking, he had an idea for a song, and I just we were writing it together, and I just kind of finished it talking to him about just stuff that he did, like we played at a place, and he just had a bunch of experiences, and so I was like, tell me about them, and we wrote the song. It's called Daydream. It's out now, you can get it anywhere. Search Tyler Kiser.
Anytime I go to write something, lyrically at least, I like to use a voice memo. I like to, like, if I have a line, I'll do the line, and then I'll listen back to it, and then come up with another line, then record both of them, and then keep doing that over and over and over again until you have a song, I guess.
You're really good with the voice memo thing. I'm bad about remembering to do that.
I have a whole phone full of one lines or one, like they don't fit with each other. I eventually may.
We have a song off the last album called I'm All In, and I wrote that with a really good friend. His name's Scotty Stinson. Shout out Scotty Stinson. He's an incredible writer, and whenever we got together, we wrote that song quite a few years ago now, but when we got together to write it, I don't even know who came up with the idea of I'm All In, but we were sitting around, he sells cars, owns a car lot, and at the time, he just had a garage where he would, like, fix them up, detail them and all that, and like on his downtime, he'd invite me over and we would write a song or whatever. And like, I like doing that, just going over and meeting people to write. Like whenever they came over and we wrote the Untitled Cup, the song, I really like that setting.
Cup, comma,
The
cup,
Yeah.
so we were talking about someone who you're writing a song with. We won't say who it is, but so you said you're working on a new album. So when do you expect to like have that coming out? And like what I would assume from album to album you have a little bit of influence that changes. So Like, are you expecting that this album sounds like way different from the last album, or would you say that it's like going to be a continuation of that kind of sound? How does that work exactly in the artistry process?
I think talking about like things that, like the first album, it was like, I've said this probably a lot, but like our first album was more just, I didn't know anything about the recording process or anything like that. I didn't know Luke yet either, and we put out this album. I put it out, and it was like a bunch of great friends, great musicians, and everything on it. But it was just kind of like a collective sound of what the kind of the idea of what I wanted these songs to sound like. And on this last album, it sounds like how we sound as a band. And I think with this next album, in my opinion, I would like for it to sound kind of more like a live experience instead of a formulated studio setting. I like for it to sound more like raw and live and kind of just us, like really, truly that live feel.
Each one's a learning experience. So.
Yeah, you definitely.
It's fun how like we're getting better each time. So.
Our last album, I wanted to have it out sooner, but on Christmas Eve, I put a knife all the way through my hand, opening up a toy for my son, and that put
because we were gonna have a snowball.
Because me and Ty, he got these bow and arrow, like these little toy bow and arrows. We were gonna go outside and play with them.
There's like 8 inches of snow, so we was gonna.
And Ty was outside waiting on me, and the next thing he knows, I run up, I go to the hospital. Yeah. And I had a knife. Well, I pulled the knife out, but it went all the way through my hand. That set recording back 2 months.
Have you lost feeling in that hand, or like is it feeling good still? Or?
It's almost back to 100%. Like it's weird. It happened a year ago, a little over a year ago, and still things would come back. Like, oh, cool, I can do that again. But I had to relearn how to do a whole lot of stuff. But it was all. I mean, it's all good.
All part of the plan, man.
Is there a song coming out called "Knock Through the Hand"?
Yes, for the next album.
So we'll let you all play another song, or maybe two, up to you all, and then we'll shut this thing down.
Yeah.
So you all have done a great job so far. Thanks again for coming on. Everybody that's here, like I said, it's just a completely insane, rowdy crowd. I saw a dude puke in the trash can, but I think he's okay. I'm just joking.
Hannah was puking in the trash can.
Yeah. Hannah is loyal. Our one loyal listener that's here. So shout out to Hannah. I'm right now. I'm drinking the Country Boy orange cider. I've done a lot of work with Country Boy, so I got to give them a shout out. I appreciate them very much. And then once again, thanks so much to Stagger Inn. This has been a really cool experience. I hope we can do this again. Maybe a continuation of this, or maybe other artists. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But
they gave us a limited run Country Boy here. They had it was Folklore, I think, and that's what our old band was called. So that was pretty cool. Country Boy, I think they had a Folklore one, which was pretty cool.
That's very cool.
I think the new one that they have is called Country as Fuck. It's literally, they just made it. Is it not? Yeah. It's called Country as Fuck. So yeah, shout out to Country Boy and Stagger Inn and Shelby Lore band. So
thank you.
We'll let y'all play.
What the shit? This next song is off our upcoming album that the song Cup the Untitled is going to be on. This song is called the $20 Song. Hey there, old friend, how long has it been? So happy to know you're alive. What's that you say? You've been in a bad way, and you're only in town for a while. Let's grab a drink, man, I hope you don't think I've become a different man. So you can have that $20 I put back. These days have been rough, I understand. here I sit with a thought in my head. Maybe I've been played. I'm useful as hell, gullible as well, and got burned at the end of the day. So glad that I could be useful. Don't you think nothing about these shoe prints on my back? I'm just trying to help a friend out. I'm just trying to help a friend out. I'm just trying. I'm just trying. I'm just trying. Thank you so much for having us.
All right, fellas, that was incredible. Where can everybody find Shelby Lore and Luke and Ty online? And also, are you all related? You and Ty?
No, we've known each
You're
other
just
literally
very
our
best
whole
friends.
life.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh, we're like waiting for each other and like to shoot bow and arrows, and I'm like,
Yeah, I used to look at Shelby.
Yeah, we lived together.
Okay.
We grew up together too. Like I've known Tyler for like over 20 years. So.
Damn near diapers.
Damn near diapers.
it's easy to see that you all have a pretty good friendship. I don't know how long Luke's been into.
Luke was immediately family.
A couple years, but
It's
just like Shelby said.
You all are very fluent. Like it just seems that you all are super cohesive and like know each other, and you want to like work with each other. And I appreciate that. So
I appreciate them.
Yeah.
This is like my first gig. I lucked out.
Yeah.
Thank you, man. Yeah, we definitely lucked out with Luke. We lucked out with Luke. So you can find our music on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you get your music, and also on Instagram, Shelby Lore Music, on Facebook, Shelby Lore Music, YouTube, and everywhere. Just search Shelby Lore Music.
And then individually, what's your all social medias?
Tyler 6Z, not a zero, but 606 on Instagram, and Tyler Kiser Music on Facebook. I do a little bit on the side of my own stuff. I'm working on maybe an album this year. I have about 5 or 6 songs I'm going to record this year. I know. So
And you got a single out.
yeah, I have a Daydream out. You can check that out on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, anything like that. So, and
I'm just Luke.Estep on Instagram, ESTEP, and on Facebook, Luke Estep.
There might be a million, but his long, beautiful locks will let you know that it's him.
bad cat on drums, dude. He's a bad cat.
I've heard a lot about you. I didn't, when you were like, my name's Luke, I didn't know you were Luke Estep. So I mean,
The Luke.
Luke
yeah,
Estep.
yeah. So that was cool when you're like, yeah, I'm Luke, and then when you were like introducing yourself, like Luke Estep, I was like, oh, I've heard a lot about this cat. So your all's band is extremely talented. See a very bright future. Like, what would you all say, like, as far as coming up? Obviously, you said you're playing at the show at Warsaw, but what are some upcoming dates that you all have that people need to come check out?
I can't talk about a lot of festivals because the lineups haven't dropped yet. But we're playing, of course, here all weekend. We're playing the Paramount with Devin Hale on July 23rd. We're playing the Muse Fest in, I believe that's Breathitt County in August. We got
Headline in Carter County.
Oh yeah, we got
Memorial Day?
yeah, we got a Memorial Day show kind of in our hometown. That'd be cool.
That should be
Just
the whole town.
check out ShelbyLoreMusic.com, and that's got everything we have going on.
There you go.
Oh yeah, the website.
Don't even like listen to what we're talking about just to get the traffic up. Go to ShelbyLoreMusic.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's get that generated. Yep, go buy some merch, go buy some albums, and just once again, a massive shout out to Stagger Inn. This has been really fun. You guys have killed it. I think we're over an hour now, so time flies by when we're having fun. And I appreciate you all so much. And to everybody listening, just share this podcast. Go to ShelbyLore.com, ShelbyLoreMusic.com, and also just keep an eye out for what we're working on. We've done an episode with Eric Bolander. We've done an episode with Brother Smith. We did an episode with Rags and Riches. We did an episode with Vintage Therapy. So we have a lot of really cool stuff coming up, and then also with these fellas. So if you're listening to What the Shuck, I appreciate you. If you're watching What the Shuck, I appreciate you. But no matter what, if you're in Kentucky and Appalachia, I hope you're living the dream. So thanks to people at Stagger Inn. Thanks to you fellas, and hope you live the dream.